Hello everyone. So I thought this kind of time would be the best kind of time to start this, and let's kick it off with a marbling tutorial. So I'm going to be using all CJP products here, and so the brush I'm going to be using is a big boy CJP brush. The monomer I'm going to be using is the one. I've just shown you the colours I'm going to take, so it's going to be kind of like a greeny bluey tutorial today. So first off, I like to take a nice wet bead of the main colour that the marble is going to be. So in this case, it's going to be Apple Shine. I place that right at the back of the nail, drag it down, and that just kind of gives me the first kind of base to worry about, so I don't need to worry about my marble kind of taking it too far back and going onto the cuticle. I then take another wet bead of that colour, a wet bead of the next colour that I want to use, and the same again for the third one. So I place those 3 wet beads on, and then making sure I have a nice saturated clean brush, I then go through and literally just swoosh them all together. I cannot think of a better word to describe it. And I make sure I'm kind of dragging that down the sides, make sure I'm kind of dragging it down the middle, and then I just repeat that process until the whole kind of nail is filled. Generally what I like to do is whatever order I first lay the colours in, I'll repeat that throughout the nail, just so that it kind of all goes together and nothing looks out of place or anything like that. If I'm using a lighter colour and a darker colour, depending on what I want the outcome to be like, I tend to only use a smaller amount of the darker colour. And I always really like taking white into a marble because I feel like it really breaks the colours up so you can actually see them better. Sometimes when doing marbling, I feel like they can kind of just mix together and make one colour. Whereas when I'm using a bit of white, I feel like it really just separates it a bit more so you can see the distance. So I'm finishing this nail up now. I'm trying to take in those sides, but as this is the first time and it's just a swatch stick, I clearly didn't do that enough. So yeah, make sure you keep those sides nice and straight, so when it comes to the end and it's all hardened, you don't just have like a bulbous tip, because nobody wants that. So I'm going to go in and do another one now. This one's not using coloured acrylics, this one's using core acrylics. So I'm taking one of the newly released ones, Obsession, and I'm still using the white coconut milk. This one's more of like a nude marble, which will be really good for like a rose quartz style nail, but I'll probably do that on another video soon to come. So I'm using the exact same process. I'm laying my first bead at the back by the cuticle, dragging it down, giving me that first base, and then I'll be going in with wetter beads of these. I like the pick up your colours separately, drop them on and then swish them all together, rather than kind of dipping it into everything all at the same time. But there are so many different techniques. This is just the one that works best for me. So you can see that, yeah, I'm just doing exactly the same process, swiping it down the sides, making sure I've covered the whole nail, going in again and repeating it until I fill the whole nail. So like I say, this one would be really good for like a rose quartz now if it just had a little bit of sparkle in there. But we didn't get around to that today. I thought I'd just show you the actual marbling technique. This one I'm doing a bit better on keeping those sides in, aren't I? It's really funny watching yourself back. But yeah, I'm just repeating that process. You can see on that last one, actually, I did double dip. So I laid my Obsession colour as well as my coconut milk at the same time. I don't usually do that, as that doesn't usually work for me, so I'm not sure why I did that, but anyway. So now that those are done, you would usually cap this in a clear acrylic, but because I'm lazy and these are just going to be swatch sticks, you know, they're not on an actual client's nail or anything like that, I'm not going to bother doing that today, purely because we're in quarantine and I don't want to waste products unnecessarily. So now that they're done, it's going to be time to top coat in a minute. But like I say, you would usually make sure that you clear cap that, so that when you file it, you're not filing off any of your design. But anyway, I'm going to go in and top coat these now that they're all dry. I like to use the tack-free UV LED top coat by CJP. See what I mean on this nail where I didn't keep those sides in enough before they hardened? But anyway, I was just showing you the technique. It's not all about the final product, but I'm just going in with a thin layer of the top coat, making them nice and shiny, nice and pretty. This one's a bit better, but you know, anyway, at least you know what not to do. So top coating them, making them nice and pretty. Those will just go in the lamp for, I put mine in for a minute and that tends to do it. I use the Sun UV5 lamp. And that is the finished result. I hope you guys enjoyed.